I gotta make sure I stay on topic. The next one, this was the match was supposed to be between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Now, anyone paying attention to social media, or reading your dirt sheets, Randy Orton had failed to clear concussion protocols due to this injury suffered at the hands of Brock Lesnar. So thanks, Brock! Thanks to you, we can't have nice things! You dick! Anyway, so, they did establish, prior to it, a backstage segment where Bray Wyatt was slamming Randy Orton's, nobody needs to hear, but Randy Orton's ankle into a door, so therefore he would be injured and not able to compete. So Bray Wyatt came out. They did a 10-count forfeit victory for Bray Wyatt. So technically, Wyatt wins. However, he still was going to compete. Nobody, get your butt off camera. Sweet Jesus. So, they did announce that Bray Wyatt would compete in a no-holds-barred match against this man, and that's when Kane showed up. So, you had a no-holds-barred match between Bray Wyatt and Kane. So, two of them all over the place, beating each other up, throwing each other around. Bray Wyatt and Kane, neither one of them will be a technical masterpiece, but this got the crowd the crowd hyped, and the usual stuff, the chair shots, using the chair and chokes and slams, and of course the poor unfortunate Spanish announce table. Why? Why the Spanish announce table? Why? Anyway, so towards the conclusion of the match, you see Randy Orton limping to the ring, his ankles taped up, and then all of a sudden, slides in, RKO, slithers out. Then Kane hits the choke slam. 1, 2, 3. Kane defeats Bray Wyatt in this no-holds-barred match. This has a lot of people pissed. This because once again, you have Bray Wyatt cutting these awesome promos. You have Bray Wyatt pretty much selling matches, but and again, he comes out on this losing it. He's never seeming to get traction as a singles competitor. He's never getting traction as a competitor, let alone as a legitimate threat to anything. It's this is kind of infuriating. You have this incredible talent, and this is what you do with it. This whole thing. Randy Orton's injury, unfortunate, but you have, and I can understand how you're trying to build this traditional storyline where the heel gets his comeuppance. But you've never built it with Bray Wyatt to that point where the fans want to see him get beat so bad. In fact, he's over. You're almost better off, trying to make him a face. And like I said, it's, I know, Kane is, doesn't really need the victory. He's kind of gone down to part-time. He's not really a big use on the SmackDown roster. Trying to get, trying to make Orton, Orton's one of the top guys, one of the very few big names on the SmackDown roster. And it's just kind of infuriating to watch Bray Wyatt used like this. You know, especially someone as talented. So it wasn't, I think, you know, this was the big point of where this card kind of started going downhill. Of where it kind of all went wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been some there's booking issues throughout, but like I said, this was the big point, and I think this moment right here is pretty much where the crowd checked out. Onward. So, moving on, the next match, the Usos taking on the team of Heath Slater and Rhyno. This match was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, to crown the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now, Usos had already wrestled, you know, Slater and Rhyno, so fresh as daisies, and it solid. I mean, it was solid. You know, this one had better drama. This one seemed to had a better flow than some of the other matches. And then then you go to the finish where the referee is distracted and he doesn't see Rhyno hit the gore on whichever Uso he's hitting. They're interchangeable, really. Which allows Slater to get the 1, 2, 3. Heath Slater and Rhyno, your first SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And of course, with this, Heath Slater is now officially a member of the SmackDown roster. In this, you kind of could tell that this was the way it was going to go. This was how it was going to go down. But it was great to see. Heath Slater has done the best work the best work of his career in WWE in this exact moment. It's fine, it's great to see finally it came together for him. Now, it's iffy how long these two will remain tag team champions and how long. Because I know Rhyno's running for public office in Michigan. So it's very iffy, but if you consider Becky winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, the feel-good moment, this is a very close, almost 1A. It was that, because the fans had gotten behind Slater. For first time in his career, they got behind him, and it just finally worked. And you have a very rich tag team division on SmackDown, so this should be very interesting going forward, especially now with a prize to fight for. So, now that that's done, it's main event time. Your main event of the evening was Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship. The thing is, you had lost the crowd by then, and the fans were. It's sad because this was a good solid match between the two. You had AJ Styles. You had AJ Styles wrestling a good, solid match. You had Dean Ambrose wrestling a good, solid match. It was, and then, there was the good drama, with the knee injury to Ambrose, where the lower leg injury to Ambrose, where, and then Styles went for the calf crusher. Where you had that drama. And then, in true to form, the way he's going, Styles distracts the referee, gets hit with something, I forget, and then AJ hits the low blow, and then uses the Styles Clash for the 1, 2, 3, your winner and new WWE World Champion, AJ Styles. I wasn't, there's a lot of people who were cheering for this, and I don't blame them. I mean, AJ is a great wrestler. He has struck gold wherever he's been. He puts on great matches. He deserves to be WWE World Champion. I mean, and within his first 9 months in the company, not a big surprise. Also, not a big surprise is because Ambrose's title reign has kind of... Okay, now don't get me wrong. Ambrose is a great talent. He's very good at what he does. He can get people's attention, and he works. It's just simply okay. It's kind of a two-pronged argument on this. One, Ambrose has just kind of been blah as SmackDown's champion. It reminds me a lot. I've seen people kind of draw comparisons between Dean Ambrose and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is another argument to that comparison. When Austin was wrestling, and don't get me wrong, Stone Cold's one of my favorite wrestlers. When Austin was wrestling, he always seemed to be more interesting when he was in the hunt for the title as opposed to when he had it. That's why Austin's title reigns were never very long. Just a few months. It just seems like once he reached the top of the heap, it's just like, okay, well, this is all wonderful and good, but... And that's the situation with Ambrose. Ambrose needs that hunger in order to get over with the crowd. He needs to be hungry. He needs that carrot, that dangling piece of meat. Because it just seemed like when he was champion, he just kind of got that attitude of, yeah, whatever. You can't beat me. Nobody cares. I'm the best. There was no fire in his belly. No. It's like when I compared. When I talked about how The Miz and Ziggler, that match was to me the best match on the card because both those guys were hungry. Even with the Intercontinental title, The Miz felt like he needed to win, character-wise. Felt like he needed to win. But then again, also, there really hasn't been, from creative-wise. I was reading an article earlier from the guys from Steel Real to Us, and they said that it was kind of a booking-wise, they haven't made Ambrose interesting as champion. Where he's under threat to lose that title. Because this is an issue where a good majority of the talent in WWE is all on Raw. So SmackDown has to rely on more creative storylines, more creative booking because of that deficit in talent. And I'm not saying because, you've got John Cena going to part-time. Randy Orton's kind of, is now hit and miss. You have to rely on guys like Dean Ambrose. You have to rely on guys like Bray Wyatt, on The Miz, on Dolph Ziggler. And you have to give them something to work with, and you've got to give the crowd a reason to cheer or boo or whatever. With that being said, it probably is a good thing, at least from a character standpoint. Because AJ as champion, as we all know, AJ has been pretty much insufferable ever since SummerSlam, beating John Cena. Now that is going to get cranked up to 11. He is just going to be the worst, the biggest pain in the ass that the world has dealt with, and that will make SmackDown watchable. Because not only do we want to see AJ Styles, now we're going to want to see him get his ass beat. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be by John Cena, because I heard John Cena is coming back for No Mercy. So there you go. It's are we going to do the right way to build ratings? Hell no! Let's just bring in Cena to save everything. So wrapping up. As I said before, you had great talents. There were some good matches, and I would say one great match. But again, this is another pay-per-view which, much like some of WWE's recent pay-per-views, has kind of fallen flat due to creatives issues, booking wise, and probably match placement. I mean, there's matches where if you moved them around, this pay-per-view could have been better. I mean, kind of like WrestleMania, at least last year. You know, let's pass WrestleMania. You know, if you move some matches around, the pay-per-view could have been so much better. Again, this is, showing the holes in SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown's been a great show to watch. It hasn't gone the peaks and valleys that Raw has. It's been consistent. However, this was a big step in the wrong direction. You need to have better use of those 2 hours on Raw, or on SmackDown, sorry, to build this up. Well, you've heard what I had to say about Backlash. Now it's your turn. Feel free to, share what you thought about Backlash. Feel free to use the comment section down below. And don't forget, there's always my poorly drawn Twitter and Instagram. And don't forget to like, comment, share. I said comment. Don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe. Please. Please. Once again, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.